No, he was a swim meet for his kid. All right. All right. In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, notice of this meeting and the revised 2022 annual meetings notice was posted on the bulletin board designed for that purpose and was transmitted to the official newspapers April 6, 2022. Notice has also been posted on the borough website. May I have a roll call?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Here.
Councilman Schreiber is absent but excused. Councilman Otteson? Here. Councilwoman Egbert?
Here.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Here.
Councilwoman Russo? Here. And Mayor?
Here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll now begin with our caucus session. There's one item, and that is the trash and recycling routes effective February 1st. And there is, if you look up at the screen there, and I have a copy here I'll pass around to members of council. This is the proposed advertisement that you see on the screen here that will run in the retrospect. And you see it delineates the trash route with the top illustration and then the recycling route on the bottom illustration. This is the same image that is also, these are the maps that are on the borough website, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
Awesome.
You look great.
Julie did the maps. She did a great job.
Julie, awesome job. Thank you.
Anything else on that?
Well, the question would just be whether we are
Right.
going to run.
Yep. So
Um,
as it stands now, it sounds like per the bid documents that Seaside would cover the advertisement one time in the paper. The cost, I believe, was around $1,300 for that. And then the question was, do we want to run it a second time? There is a discount for the second running of like 25%. Would we want to run it a second time on our own?
I think we should, maybe like once in February or whatever.
Pretty high
So
cost,
what we
right?
were thinking is January 13th edition for February 1st start date. But again, like if we want to run it again, the retrospect has said that they would give us a
I
discount.
would
I
do
think
it.
it's 20%.
What's the, because February 1st is the first day of collection.
Mhm.
So what's the,
Friday, the
Friday
13th is
before
2
that.
weeks prior. Yes. Exactly. And we're going to put this advertisement as many places as we can in town. We're going to post it in the community bulletin board here, over at the post office, John's, the library, Borough Hall. There will be a notice going out in the mail from Seaside Waste of
In
the
addition,
exact
right.
trash routes. And that's something that we're working on. We got their first draft today. We need to tweak it. So we will make sure that mayor and council see what exactly is going to go out to all of the residents. And if everyone recalls, it's going to go out in a Haddon Heights envelope. We have the envelopes. So we just need to, we're going to try to negotiate if you in fact decide that you want to run it twice. We're going to try to see if they'll pay for both. But I mean, again, we just need to make that determination, I guess. And that, I guess, doesn't need to be tonight.
quick question too. February 1st is the middle of the week. It's a Wednesday. So are we talking the recycling route starts that Thursday, Friday as the new route, and the
I'll-
trash route is still all collected Monday that week?
I'm going to confirm with Dave for
Okay.
sure.
Just trying to gather exactly how that. So yeah, let's make sure we clarify that for the public, because I think that's going to be the
Yeah.
big question that'll pop up. Yeah, what is the exact start that it commences? It's either going to say recycling, it's going to commence February 2nd, meaning that's your new recycling day, right? There's that, or they're going to commence the 6th of February, which is actually the first full week of February.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
That's
According to the ad, if they say February 1st, you would anticipate if you saw that, I guess, that whatever day of the week that is, That's the day it's gonna
You-
pick up. You say that's a Wednesday?
Beginning that
It's a
week.
Wednesday, which would mean it's the last day of what would be a trash pickup, which means only one district would get picked up. The rest would have been picked up on Monday.
Mhm.
So again, we just need some clarification on that. That's the only other thing.
We can get that.
Awesome.
And I think, and just showing that, I think the mayor's the only person who's seen the, what Seaside sent over. We found it to be a little, maybe just confusing because we're trying to have all of our materials that go out be consistent with what we have up on the website. So we're thinking of trying to list all of the streets within each route.
Can we
Um,
have a copy of the map included in the mailer?
That's something I have to talk to Dave about because they're going to be paying for the postage or whatever. So again, I'm not really sure what is going to go out, what it's going to look like. But yes, we can try to do that. The map, if it is on an 8.5 by 11, is not going to do a whole lot of good to people because they really would need to blow it up. So when you go to the website, we have the corresponding maps where you can blow it up. So if you look at this, you can't really read the streets, but it gives a little bit of an idea. And then we refer, as we do it in the letter also, back to the website. Everything is back to the website. And of course, we'll have these everywhere around town that we can. Obviously, I know it's going to go out, hopefully we can get Heights happenings and as many, places as possible. There's going to be a little bit of growing pains. I mean, it's any change is going to be a little bit confusing, but we're trying to do the best we can to make it clear and concise as possible.
All right, council members, thoughts on running the ad twice, just kind of like a straw poll.
Run the ad twice.
What's the general cost?
The cost, I believe, was $13.20 for 1 week. If we ran it twice, they were going to give us a discount of 20%. So again, we were going to try to see if we could get that entire cost covered by Seaside. If not, we believe, based on the vid docs, that we can get at least one of those advertisements covered. They're obviously paying for postage to go to every residence, and so we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
I do think we can probably, hopefully we can find the money if you all absolutely decide you want to run it the second time, in the budget. I can speak to Debbie.
Yeah, my thought is, and I don't want to speak for everyone else, but my thought is if Seaside covers the first one, then I think it'd be, I
Sure.
think we,
Mhm.
and if Debbie says, okay, then I think we could go for the second one.
Okay, so would the idea then be the 13th and then the following Friday,
Mm-hmm.
which would be the week prior to? Okay. Oh, absolutely. They're going to call us, absolutely. Right, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't think we need to do it?
I'm a little bit
Yeah.
on I don't know about a second run either.
Yeah, I don't have strong feelings.
Right.
Yeah, and there's going to be a steep learning curve. I mean, if you miss it one time, you're not going to miss it again.
I thought that too, but then, like the mayor made a good point that, the more it's out there, maybe the better. I mean, again, it's up to you,
It's
whatever
up
you'd
to
like to
you.
do.
So we don't have to decide tonight. We've got time.
Yeah, you don't,
So, but just
okay.
chew that over. We'll bring it back up first,
Mhm.
the beginning of January, and we're
And
gonna
we-
run it at least once in January.
And it will be a full page,
and it'll be a full page.
obviously.
Yep.
It's big.
All right.
Um,
Anything else on
okay.
trash and recycling routes before we move on?
Yes, great job.
And again, I have to give a lot of credit to Julie. She's very good. That degree in digital media has come in very handy.
Yeah, it looks absolutely great.
I told her, I said, isn't it great you're using your degree?
A lot.
And it's funny, that's why we hired her for the Heights report.
Coming in.
Great
Great job.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We're going to recess from the caucus session and commence with our business session. Begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. So I'll open it up for public comment on caucus and agenda items only. That's public comment on caucus and agenda items only. Not seeing any public comment. I'll close the public comment portion. We'll move into the most important resolution on tonight is a proclamation honoring resident Ruth Burns for the age of 106 years of age.
Wow.
I believe that's Heights' oldest living resident.
Oh, my goodness. What's your secret? He's so sweet.
She insisted. I offered. Julie, is this still sharing? Or can we keep that there? It's not. Okay. This is too much.
No way.
Oop, I grabbed the wrong one. You good? You want me? All right, Mrs. Burns. The proclamation reads, whereas Ruth Burns was born on December 11th, 1916 in Gordon, Pennsylvania. Whereas Ruth attended nursing school at Ashland State Hospital in Pennsylvania. Her first nursing job was at Germantown Hospital, where she met her husband, Joseph Burns. Whereas in 1944, Ruth and Joseph were married and went on to have 2 daughters. Whereas in 1954, Ruth and Joseph moved to Haddon Heights to the home built by her husband's family, where she still lives today with her cat, Sweetie. Whereas Ruth enjoyed frequenting Haddon Heights' businesses, attending concerts, streets, fairs, parades, and ceremonies. Whereas she retired from West Jersey Hospital in Camden after 25 years, working the overnight shift in the intensive care unit. Whereas Ruth was active in retirement and enjoyed traveling, but her favorite activities were cooking for family and friends and always being most gracious hospital hostess. Whereas she is the family matriarch to 2 children, 5 grandchildren, 14 great-grandchildren, and many nieces and nephews. Whereas Ruth enjoys visits with her family and friends and the company and thoughtfulness of her wonderful Maple Avenue neighbors. Now, therefore, be it resolved on behalf of the Council of the Borough of Haddon Heights, we hereby recognize beloved resident Ruth Burns on her 106th birthday, which was December 11th, and wish her all the happiness and joy life has to offer.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ruth. Tell us all your
Can I
secrets.
carry this for you?
Yeah.
I'll carry this back.
I think we're gonna depart. but-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Congratulations.
May I just say,
Yes.
this is indeed an honor. Thank you so much. And I hope it's maybe because some people might think I'm a nice person, not just because I'm old.
It is. You're a wonderful resident, and we appreciate
Oh,
you
I
calling
certainly-
Haddon Heights home.
Certainly enjoyed Haddon Heights and all it has to offer.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank
Guys,
you,
enjoy your
Ruth.
night. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I don't think that the
is.
was sharing all the time, Chris. I think
All
so.
right,
We
we're
could
gonna
do
move
that.
into-
It's streaming. Yeah. No, I thought so.
We're going to move into the approval of the minutes of the December 6th, 2022 work session meeting. May I have a motion for the approval of the minutes of December 6th, 2022 work session?
Egbert, so moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Egbert. May I have a second? May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Otteson. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you. Moving on to the approval of the executive session minutes of December 6, 2022 work session meeting. May I have a motion for the approval of the executive session minutes?
Phillips, so moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Phillips. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Council President Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Thank you. We'll now move into the council member reports. And I'll start with Council President Morgan.
Thank you, Mayor. This is kind of old news, but I did want to say that in November, I did meet with our CFO and our auditor to go over the audit and make sure it was finalized. We approved the resolution for that last meeting. But I did want to just say, for the sake of the public, that everything was good in the audit. There were no major issues, so that went through without a problem. I did want to also thank Councilwoman Egbert for the outstanding job that she did with the holiday parade. It was fantastic, well attended, and I think a good time was had by all. Although he's not here tonight, I did want to acknowledge Councilman Schreiber's service on this council. He served for, I think, 5 years at this point. And I just wanted to acknowledge and express gratitude for his service to the town. And again, happy birthday to Mrs. Burns.
Wonderful. Thank you, Council President. Councilwoman Egbert.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The annual holiday parade was held on Friday, November 25th, and was a big success. Thank you to all the participants and volunteers, and a special thank you to Mayor Hauk for hosting the event, to Kelly and Julie and everyone in the borough office for helping me with the behind-the-scenes stuff, and the biggest thank you of all to Dave Tarashi and DPW for assembling new holiday decor and for meeting my very strict deadlines. Downtown looks so festive, and it is all because of the hard work of the DPW. So thank you so much. Second, I'd like to thank Mayor Hauk for organizing and hosting our first ever Hanukkah lighting ceremony that was held on Sunday, December 18th. The mayor's dedication to ensuring that our town is an inclusive community is very admirable, and I appreciate you. In terms of the park and recreation update, I wanted to say that we're so excited for the Devon Avenue sod project to commence. Thank you to Howard Long, Steve Bach, the Haddon Heights Soccer Club, the Haddon Heights School District, and Board of Education, and the borough employees whose dedication and enthusiasm for this project never wavered. I'm really looking forward to seeing the field transformation once the project is underway. Next, I'd like to thank Steve Bach again for his commitment to Hoffs Park and the worthwhile improvements the Park and Recs Committee are making in the area as a result of his efforts through grants. We have new gym equipment that will be installed this spring and some really exciting improvements that are planned for the future. But I'm going to let Steve talk about those in his engineering report. Steve, just know that I am grateful for all of your hard work this year, and it's been a pleasure making improvements to our parks and our green space with you this year. Thank you so much. Also, I wanted to thank all of our youth organizations, HHSC, HHYA, field hockey, lacrosse, and all the others who produce excellent athletic programs. Your volunteerism and exceptional dedication to the athletes in our town deserves so much praise. Thank you to all the organization leaders, coaches, and volunteers. And I just wanted to finish my report by also extending my thanks to Scott Schreiber, who's not here. I know he served during our time as council president, and he's been very dedicated, outspoken, and really to this council and to our community. And I really appreciate everything. So.
Thank you, Councilwoman Phillips.
Egbert.
Egbert. There you go. Confusing you.
Happens
two.
all the time. I know, we're both
Yeah.
blonde.
Yeah, like twins. Councilwoman Phillips.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to echo my gratitude for Councilman Schreiber for his dedication and very hard work on behalf of this community for the past 5 years. He will be missed, and we appreciate everything he did. Also, kudos again to Councilwoman Egbert for her efforts with the holidays. She's just really good at this stuff. So thank you for doing it all. It's really nice to see the new star, the new menorah. I think the community looks great. The whole downtown looks beautiful. So thanks to Dave Trashy and the DPW as well. Moving on to public safety updates. I have, with respect to the police department, the November 2022 monthly report, 2,951 miles driven on patrol, 1,054 calls for service, 24 arrests, 17 accidents, and 143 motor vehicle summonses issued. So they're very busy, doing a great job for our community as always. There are several new initiatives that are listed on this report, but one that I want to highlight in particular is a new registry for those who are autistic or disabled. The registry provides information to the police department in case of an emergency, specifically about that person's emergency contacts, detailed physical descriptions, known routines, any other pertinent information that would be accessible to the police in the event an emergency situation arises. And in the case with autistic or disabled individuals, that can really make a huge difference in terms of their safety. So it's a great initiative. Please encourage anyone you know to sign up for that, as I think it would be very beneficial for the community and the safety of those individuals. With respect to the fire department, everyone will notice that we have a resolution on this evening to authorize a shared services agreement by and between the Borough of Haddon Heights and the Borough of Barrington for the provision of firefighting services. That is subject to attorney review. There's a couple more things that are minor to be ironed out, but we are at the end of a very long road. And I have this gentleman right here to thank, our new chief, Joey Hales. Thank you so much for your efforts, and congratulations. We're looking forward to you being our chief. Also, we will welcome our new assistant chief, Sean Ferguson of Barrington, and I know you guys will be a great team. And I want to thank Chief Kinky, former Chief Kinky, for all of his efforts that also got us to this finish line. I'm really excited. I think there's already great things with the work in practice being done with the shared services, and now we're just formalizing it. So I think that is it. Sorry, somewhat of a long update.
That's okay.
Did I say something wrong?
No, Howard loses focus. On this. It's like,
Coming from the one who called us this different names.
thank you, Councilwoman Phillips. This time, yeah. Councilman Addison.
Construction, we're getting near the end of the year. As of the end of November, 1,030 inspections and taking in 55,000. Some part of it probably 177,000 a year, which is probably about the same last year. So there. On the fire side, as Councilwoman Phillips said, the shared service agreement is taking place, and everyone's going pretty smoothly with that. We thank Barrington for getting back to some bidding process starting again. Thank our fire department for putting the package together. Thanks, many thanks to Chief Kinky. He was now retired, and we have a great chief. Congratulations. And then on environmental commission, we have something on there tonight we're trying to move forward with remediation. Shade tree, the next year is going to move to planting small trees and pull up. We're going to try to do a winter planting, but we'll probably keep it small and get it done by the end of the year. Thanks so much for the holiday parade. It was wonderful. You did a great job. Really nice. I had a friend who's Jewish and also appreciated the menorah lighting. She said it was really nice. Downtown looks great. Probably the best it's ever looked. And then many thanks to Scott Schreiber. I know he's not here. I thought maybe we could roast him while we was watching that television. That would be really funny if he was. And they put countless hours in. He ran multiple campaigns. He assisted with mine. He shepherded the finances and got the budget back in shape. He worked for Hurricane really hard. He's always given us good advice. He's a very humble person. I really like him. Sorry.
Thank you, Councilman Addison. And Councilwoman Russo.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a few quick announcements. First off, thank you to Councilwoman Phillips and Councilman Addison for their work in the negotiation on the fire shared service agreement. I know it was a huge undertaking, and I'm happy to see that have made progress and we are where we are. So thank you for your work there. Thank you to Councilwoman Egbert for her work on the holiday parade. It seems like it was a huge success and a great event that day. As well to Mayor Hauk on the menorah lighting. That was, I was able to attend that one, and it was a wonderful event. Very inclusive, great community event. Happy birthday to Mrs. Burns for sure, and a huge thank you to Scott Schreiber for his work, Councilman Schreiber for his work with council, volunteering his time, and I wish him well in his future years. Retirement from council. Hard earned. Thank you. And then thank you to Mr. Bach. I'm going to let you fill in on the rest of the engineer's report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Russo. And I just put my agenda away.
It's your turn.
I see that. It's my turn. Oh, Howard's got it right here for me. Oh, there it is. Mayor's report. First and foremost, congratulations to Mrs. Burns. I think that's quite an achievement. We all hope to live to see centennial. So, I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. And we are happy that she calls Haddon Heights home. I do want to take a moment and remember Denise Hochel, who was a guidance counselor at the Haddon Heights High School, who just recently passed away. So just keep their family, your thoughts, your prayers, and the entire Garnet country in your thoughts and prayers. I myself, I believe Councilman Egbert, probably had her as a guidance counselor in their freshman year. So she touched a lot of lives and helped a lot of children, kids in high school. So again, just thoughts and prayers for their family. With that, I want to thank Councilwoman Egbert for all of her work this year. I think this has been an incredible year for our civic event. The holiday parade was something to remember. It gets bigger and better every year. The new car is a huge hit. We do have to figure out how to connect the Wi-Fi, but we'll get there. We've got another year. And thank you, because I don't think, the credit isn't really for me with the menorah, but it's you getting, having the funds to being able to purchase that. And we had an incredible turnout. I was really shocked and surprised. I was a little nervous. There was nobody at first. And then we probably had just shy of 100, I think, show up for the event. And yes, Max Russo was a big fan of the event. I saw him yelling from the but no, we had Cantor Scott, who came out and kind of was the MC for the evening, and he was phenomenal. He really got the crowd engaged, and a lot of people were very excited. So I'm thankful for our council support on that. And finally, I want to thank Councilman Schreiber, though he's not with us tonight, and just echo all the thoughts of everybody here on council. He has been a mentor of mine when I first came on here in council and joined everybody. Gave me a lot of guidance. Didn't always agree, with me, but I think he helped me grow as a mayor and as a person. So I cannot thank him enough. And I hate to lose him, but I'm excited for what great things he's got in store for himself in the future. So with that, I'll turn it over now to the borough engineer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Steve Bach, just for the record. Engineer's report has been submitted in writing. Just want to highlight a few items. One of the items on our agenda this evening is the award of the Devon Avenue turf field improvements. I know Mr. Long has issued his opinion recommending, and our office also did, recommending the award to Down the Earth Landscaping, Inc. in the amount of $188,866. Happy that has come through with the second bid. We do have to weigh our expectations a little bit on implementation with the weather, meaning the rain events, and with the temperatures. We'll closely monitor that. And if we do have a window that's appropriate, we'll jump on it right away. But we stand ready to assist. Also in the report, we're announcing fiscal year 2023 and New Jersey Department of Community Affairs local recreation improvement grants. If you recall, this is the grant that's paying for the exercise equipment at the head of the trail down in Hobbs Park. Update on that, we have purchased order information through the state contract. We're hoping to get that ratified in January through the administrator and the CFO, get it ordered so it can be installed in the spring. But we have an opportunity to submit this January for another round of grants. In talking with Councilwoman Egbert, head of the Parks and Rec Committee, we're going to continue on our efforts to get some all abilities playground equipment down at Hobbs Park. We submitted an application to the Block Grant Program, Camden County. We were not successful. Camden County Block Grant is a rotating, competitive grant program. We were not successful this year, most likely because we got all the handicap ramps the year before.
Right.
But we're going to use that as a template for the application.
Okay.
So in January, you'll see resolution authorizing the submission of an application for the all-accessible playground equipment at Hobbs Park for the DCA application. Just a couple highlights, the Kings Highway resurfacing projects being performed by the county. We're coordinating with the county engineer and county representatives regarding their ongoing design efforts with the sanitary sewer main rehabilitation, the slip lining. We have a meeting with them this Wednesday. They're continuing on their design efforts and continuing to keep the stakeholders involved, meaning the Borough of Audubon, Borough of Haddon Heights, and Borough of Mount Ephraim. Very pleased to report that Haddon Heights has received a 2023 DOT Municipal Aid Fund of $260,930 towards continuation of St. Martin's and possibly the beginning of Winfield Avenue. We have a 2022 grant that's currently in the design, will be bid over the wintertime, hope will be awarded in the spring and spring construction. This will continue on where that funding leaves off.
Okay.
We hope to get all of St. Martin's completed under these two grants. On the architectural barrier for the block grant program, we have completed all the base bid work. There is still money available within the grant. The block grant program encourages all municipalities to utilize the grant to the fullest extent. We are working with the contractor to establish what additional intersections can be done. They're going to be coordinated with the travel plan as the priority, as we have before. And we will bring that recommendation to mayor and council for approval prior to authorizing any of that work, making sure we have full mayor and council approval, engineering committee approval, and also the appropriate documentation with the solicitor and the CFO. Another update on Camden County project, which is stationed at the Atlantics. The majority of the paving on Station Avenue, with the exception of the station and the Atlantics, all the paving by the Dell, all the paving out the hillside, out to Kings Highway, all that has been let by the county, meaning awarded to a contractor, Asphalt Pavement Systems, with construction anticipated in the spring when weather permits. As the months get closer to spring construction, the county has indicated that they will keep us continually informed of when we would actually expect that activity to start. There has been some continually design on the pedestrian improvements associated with the station and the Atlantics. Several interim concepts have been circulated to the engineering committee. Also, the concepts have been continually been reviewed by NV5, who is the county's trail link designer. So it's very consistent with what you endorsed to the county as pedestrian improvements on the station in the Atlantics, where several refinements that are currently being finalized. So we're hoping to see something close to a final design that can be circulated and discussed maybe in January, but no later than February. That has not been let out for a contract at all. Other than that, we'll rely the rest on a written report unless there's any questions. And as a final note, if Scott is watching, Councilman Schreiber, so lot of interaction. Scott was very instrumental in the engineering committee. And I still see Scott and talk to Scott almost on a regular basis in my day job and his day job as the executive director of the Camden County Municipal Utilities Authority. So I appreciate all his help with the engineering related items. So we will miss him. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
All right, moving on to unfinished business. Public hearing and final adoption of bond ordinance 2022-1526, bond ordinance authorizing the acquisition and installation of supplemental pumping equipment and the completion of capital improvements for the sewer utility lines for the Lake Street Pump Station in and for the Borough of Haddon Heights, County of Camden, New Jersey, appropriating the sum of $400,000, therefore authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds or bond anticipation notes of the Borough of Haddon Heights, County of Camden, New Jersey, in the aggregate principal amount of up to $400,000, making certain determinations and covenants, and authorizing certain related actions in connection with the foregoing. I have a motion to open the public hearing portion of this bond ordinance. Motion by Councilwoman Russo. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you. The public hearing portion of this bond ordinance is now open. Those wishing to make a comment, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Can I ask Steve a question on this? Sure. If you mind, Mayor.
Go ahead.
Steve, this is Lake Street Pump Station. Are you familiar with that project?
Yes.
Okay, what specifically are we?
If everyone recollects, we received a $100,000 grant opportunity for a small system asset management program project. That has been completed. In order for that to be a grant and not a loan, we had to, as a borough, apply for loan funding for up to $250,000 of improvements. What was identified was the Lake Street Pumping Station as being the #1 priority, and this is for supplemental pumping equipment during emergency events. So the pumping equipment takes the place of a standby electric generator. So now we're using this pumping equipment that if we have a power failure, that this pumping equipment run by natural gas will take over and provide power to the station. Provide pumping capacity for the station. The industry is moving away from generator sets and going to standby pump sets because the price has significantly reduced over the last probably 8 to 10 years. So that way, if we have any failure of any component with our pump station, if we have a faulty pump, a broken pipe, something to do with the electrical system, this standby pumping equipment will carry the flow and we can avoid any environmental discharges of sewage.
I really, in fact, this type of infrastructure is just so important. While not glamorous, certainly.
I love it.
It's needed. And you know it's.
Yes.
It's something that we really need to look at. It's nice to see that finally coming to fruition.
Yep, and you saw in the resolution at the last meeting, there'll be a treatment works approval application coming to the mayor in January for him to sign. We'll be submitting that to the DEP and continue through the process until hopefully as early as possible in 2023, having all the Ts crossed and Is dotted and fulfill our obligations to the DEP. So we have that $100,000 grant.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Council members? Yep, motion to close public hearing portion. Not seeing any other further comments.
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Phillips, seconded by Councilwoman Russo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you. Now, can I have a motion to adopt bond ordinance 2022-1526, a bond ordinance authorizing the acquisition and installation of supplemental pumping equipment, the completion of capital improvements for the sewer utility lines for the Lake Street Pump Station in and for the Borough of Haddon Heights, County of Camden, New Jersey, appropriating the sum of $400,000. Therefore, authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds or bond anticipation notes of the Borough of Haddon Heights, County of Camden, New Jersey, in the aggregate principal amount of up to $400,000, making certain determinations and covenants, and authorizing certain related actions in connection with the foregoing. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Councilman Odison. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Egbert. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilman Odison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Egbert?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilwoman Russo? Thank you.
You guys sound alike. That was the.
Now we sound alike too.
Now you sound alike. Moving into new business. Resolution 2022-186, a resolution awarding a contract to Winsec Technologies of New Jersey LLC, DBA Networks Plus, for the purpose of providing computer and network maintenance support to the Borough of Haddon Heights, the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2025. Resolution 2022-187, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between Voorhees Animal Orphanage, Inc. and the Borough of Haddon Heights for the purpose of providing animal shelter services for a period of up to 12 months. Resolution 2022-188, resolution authorizing an agreement by and between the County of Camden, Cooperative Purchasing and Direct Energy Business Marketing LLC and UGI Energy Services for the provisions of natural gas supply services under the South Jersey Power Cooperative. Resolution 2022-189, resolution authorizing transfers of appropriations. Resolution 2022-190, resolution authorizing payment of bills and claims for the second half of December. Resolution 2022-191, a resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-12. 1, matter related to hazardous discharge site remediation fund investigations for Devon Avenue. Discussions are expected to be about a half hour in duration. Formal action may be taken on the foregoing items following executive session. Resolution 2022-192, a resolution to cancel appropriations. Resolution 2022-193, a resolution authorizing a shared service agreement by and between the Borough of Haddon Heights and the Borough of Barrington, the provisions of firefighting services, and in accordance with NJSA 40A:65-1. EDSEC. It's a legal term. Resolution 2022-194, resolution of the Borough of Haddon Heights authorizing the award of the contract for Devon Avenue Soccer Field's natural turf improvement projects to Down to Earth Landscaping, Inc. May I have a motion for the resolutions, please? Motion by Councilwoman Russo. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Egbert. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilman Odison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Egbert?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilwoman Russo? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now open up public comment. That's public comment on anything at all. Not seeing any public comment, we'll close the public comment portion and we'll move into executive session. Did you want to hang, Steve? Yeah. Council, okay with that? Our engineer's going to hang for the discussion of Devon Ave remediation.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Minimize this. That's rough. It is. It's rough.
All right,
Probably should
all
have
right.
not signed up for that.
Maybe Charles would be interested in getting involved.
All right, council members, can I have a,
Charles would be
Thank you.
involved
I changed my middle
in
name.
getting
Yeah,
involved.
council members, can I have a motion to come out of executive session? Motion by Councilman Russo. May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Odison. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Thank you. Not seeing anything to act on. Council members, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Egbert. So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Egbert. May I have a
Phillips.
second?
Phillips, second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Phillips. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you.
Happy holidays.
I still kind of use it like if I'm in court, I say Regina
Thanks,
McKenna
guys.
Phillips. Like I professionally.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you.
Enjoy the